Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, November 23. Both Houses of Parliament have now approved the National Identification and Registration Act, paving the way for the establishment of a voluntary and secure national identification system (NIDS) for Jamaica. It was passed in the House of Representatives on October 13 and given the Senate's nod last Friday. NIDS will provide a comprehensive and secure structure to enable the collection and storage of identity information. It will be used to verify an individual's identity, facilitate the electronic signing of documents, and access to a range of government services online. Leader of Government Business in the Senate, Kamina Johnson-Smith, piloted the landmark legislation, which she says is a representation of the views of the Jamaican people. She says the legislative framework for NIDS has been strengthened and improved and will now recognize and protect the right to privacy, particularly as it relates to safeguarding data or identity information.
NIDS will provide greater security and privacy of personal information. And this is because it's going to attach the biometric ID. So not only would you have a card, but the card will be protected by the fact that you're uniquely identified by your fingerprint, by your face, your digital image, which will also reduce the risk of identity theft.
Once NIDS comes into effect, a new single ID will be provided, which will be widely accepted and protected by strong security and private networks. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton says a comprehensive research on Jamaica's COVID-19 experience could help to devise strategies that will bolster resilience in the public health sector. Dr. Tufton was addressing participants at the 12th Annual Health Research Conference last Wednesday.
I would support any research that is properly put together that seeks to look at public health and project in the years to come, coming out of the COVID experience. And there are critical components of that. There's a technology component. One of the things that COVID has taught us is that technology does and can make things a lot more efficient.
Minister Tufton says he wants to see more practical applications from research findings on best practices being manifested in the lives of the people.
We need to solve problems, and we need to help people, Jamaicans, communities like ours, regionally, like CARFA's work, to solve problems. In this instance, helping people to live better lives, better quality lives, eating right, managing their alcohol intake, getting their regular checkup, taking their medication through to the end so they don't get into antimicrobial resistance.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness has been supporting the research agenda through a $50 million National Wellness Fund that was launched over a year and a half ago. Cattle and small ruminant farmers now have access to resources and services that will allow them to improve the genetic potential of the local herds. This will be done under the National Livestock Genetic Improvement Program, which aims to expand production and productivity in the sector. The Ministry of Agriculture is executing the program over a 3-year period through the Jamaica Dairy Development Board in collaboration with Nutramix. Minister with responsibility for the portfolio, Audley Shaw, says the initiative is an integral tool for harnessing opportunities geared towards the beef and cattle industries, as well as the small ruminant subsector.
Included in this genetic improvement program is the use of selected goat semen and embryos known for their high level of milk and meat production. As we continue to drive to ramp up goat production.
Over 700 straws of beef cattle semen from Brahman, Brangus and Angus breeds will be used on the local stocks. 1,500 straws from Brown Swiss, Jersey and Holstein cattle will be used on the dairy cattle and 150 for goats. Students and teachers at Black River High School now have access to an additional classroom block valued at approximately $20 million. The structure, which was recently handed over to the school, comprises 4 classrooms and a staff room. Education Minister Favour Williams says the additional classrooms will ease overcrowding at the institution and facilitate the removal of the shift system.
Today's official handing over is indicative of a commitment to providing the resources to enable our children to do well in an environment that is conducive to learning. This is a commitment to the educational development of our children and to the future of Jamaica.
The structure was built under the Government of Japan's Grant Assistance for Grassroots Human Security Project with oversight by the National Education Trust. Minister Williams says there are plans to complete Phase 2 of the school's expansion project. Black River High, which was originally built to accommodate 600 students, now has an enrollment of 1,700. And finally, Minister of Housing, Urban Renewal, Environment and Climate Change, Colonel Charles Jr., says discussions are underway to initiate recycling programs in communities across the island. The talks include Recycling Partners of Jamaica and other recycling groups.
To partner with gated communities across the country and communities on a whole across the country to see how we can move now towards the sustainable practices to be incorporated into our communities, recycling and repurposing and separation of their waste material.
Minister Charles Jr. was speaking following a tour of the Foreshore Estates housing development at Delacree Pen in St. Andrew. The project, which is registered with the Real Estate Board, provides 230 quads and duplex units that are within the National Housing Trust loan limit of $6.5 million. Ground broke in 2018 for the development, which is part of government's public-private partnership initiative to get more Jamaicans into houses.
For us as a government, we are supporting and partnering with private developers to ensure that we can provide affordable housing for our citizens. And affordable housing must be within a community that represents resilience and sustainability. So we are moving towards sustainable communities where families can live and be safe and feel ownership of their space, so they take care of it.
And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.